Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for spending a few moments with me. I apologize for my attire this afternoon. It's been one of those days. It was a casual day for me, and I was in a boating kind of mood, so I put on my Bahamas T-shirt and my captain's cap, and been just relaxing today. But I had a thought that I think that is important that I need to bring to you. My job and what I currently do is that I am a wealth strategist. I teach people how to secure their wealth with physical assets. Now, let's talk about something that ran through my mind today in conversation with someone, and I showed them something, and when I showed it to them, they were just astounded. Okay, so let's talk about education. I'm 74 years old, and I was educated in the public school systems of this great country of ours, America. There's not a better country in the world. By far, we are that shining city on the hill. Uh, Also, had some semesters at LSU, so I spent some time there. And I'm a Tiger fan, so I'm proud of my school, right? Uh, in high school, starting that far back, they taught a thing called civics. Now, in civics, we learned about state and local government. We learned about federal government and how it operates. And another semester or portion of that civics class was learning about finances. We learned about the financial institutions of this country. We've studied about banks and taxes and government. And we were taught to be good stewards of that money. We were taught how to put together a budget, live on a budget, put up savings in banks and institutions so that we'd have something for a rainy day. Excuse me. However, during that time, as early back as the 50s and 60s, when I was at school, government had already infiltrated the school systems. Okay? And the banking systems of that time, and even today, have their hands deep into the pockets of the politicians. So they taught us how to become indentured servants to the fiat system and the banking system of this country. Okay? And I'll explain to you what that means in a moment. See, we were taught that, like, if you wanted to go buy an automobile or a home, you would go to the bank or a finance company, you make a loan, you can make it over terms, and you pay it back to them. But the caveat to that is you pay them back interest. So in order for them to loan you the money, you've got to pay them back more than what you paid. That was the American way. That's the American dream, or so we were told, right? Not true. Okay, but it's what we were taught. And for just about all of my life, I believed that to be true. I live the American dream. I am the American dream. I spent 51 years in my industry and put up money for that rainy day. Okay? So, with all of that said, all of a sudden now I know better because I was taught better. I live here in the beautiful state of Florida. Like most coastal areas of the Gulf of America, right? We have these storms called hurricanes that come through. Say, for example, one came through here in Florida where I live, damaged the roof on my house. I would file with my insurance company and with FEMA, and then put a blue tarp on my roof and wait for months and months and months, sometimes a year or more, before I actually got the payouts so I could have the roof properly repaired on my house. That just wouldn't be satisfactory for me. So myself, like a lot of my neighbors and friends, we would go to the bank and make a loan to get that repaired, a home equity loan. Okay? And we would go ahead and pay the roofer to fix it, get in early, uh, before materials and stuff get too scarce, or the bulk of the contractors is doing a recovery move out. And then we would wait on those funds to come in from FEMA and from insurance company, and then we would pay it back to the bank. But the problem with that is when you pay it back to the bank, it's always going to be less than what you borrowed because they're not going to cover the full amount. Plus, you're going to be subtracting from that the interest that you've got to pay back to the bank. Now, what does the bank do with that interest that you paid on that loan? Well, they pay the employees, they pay themselves, the lion's share, and then they buy more gold and silver with it because gold and silver is what they back their financial institutions with. Governments and central banks are the largest purchasers of gold and silver in the world. They're the number two. They're the top two. Okay? So, what would you think if I told you that you don't need a bank no more? What would you think if I told you that you could loan yourself that money and then pay it back with no interest on your terms? And when you did pay it back, it would actually earn money or interest for you. That can be done. Today I've taught a number of people, at least 12 people, how to do that. Now, me teaching you how to do that is totally free. It doesn't cost you a single penny. So if what I'm telling you is intriguing you and you would like to know that secret, then reach out to me. You can find me on social media. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Telegram. Just send me a message and say, I want to know how to become my own bank and be independent of the indentured servitude of the fiat dollar and the banks. And I will gladly make an appointment with you. We'll get you in our schedule, and I'll take a full hour with you to explain to you everything I know about this. And I hope this reaches the ears of people that really need it, really want it, and want to understand it. With that said, good afternoon, God bless, and I've got to jump on another call. See everybody soon.